All right, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody from the YouTube family. Welcome everybody from the TikTok family, D Live, Twitch. Yes, yes, I did shave. I did shave. I have to do it like once or twice a year for the wife. She doesn't like the goatee, whatever. So once in a while, you got to sacrifice yourself for the good of others. All right. Still look good. Still look good. But you do feel naked because you do get so used to a certain way. And why I'm bringing this up? Because when I get into the world news, I got this article. It's kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? People really put money in shit like this? You're going to see what I'm talking about. But we got Bigfoot Anon today. And for one thing, I have been getting some complaints. Everybody's like, Eric, the thumbnails you put, I noticed that's the picture of you is from a movie or something, but you never tell us what it is. And I feel bad that I don't. So maybe real quick on every show, I'll pop up the thumbnail and I'll let you guys see what movie is that from. So anybody in the chat, and I'll do this every day so everybody would know. What movie is that from? Does anybody in this chat know? I bet you not one person is going to get it. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let me see here. Okay, anybody? Well, there's the thumbnail. Nobody? Everybody says, hey, Bigfoot Anon. First of all, Paranormal Underworld's here. Scott Morin's here. Juan Torres is here. Danny's here. Nonum Boss is here. Let's see if I'm missing anybody. Mystico's here. Crazy Join's here. And this crazy guy's here. Not one. Buffy? Nope, not Buffy. Not Pet Cemetery. Two good choices. Two good choices. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Christopher Walken. That's all you should need to know. Graveyard, Christopher Walken. Got to be one person knows that by now. God, I don't know if maybe you get it, Connor.
Did you hear what I said? The prophecy?
He said he got it. The prophecy.
Yeah.
The prophecy. So every day I will pop up and let you guys take a guess. That is the prophecy. That is when Christopher Walken was trying to find the soul of Arnold Hawthorne to have the most evil, dipshit, psychotic person on earth to help with the second war in heaven. And if you are a religion person, how do you know there's not a second war in heaven? Or a third war?
Or are we in the middle of it right now?
You know? How would I know? How would I know? So beyond that, guys, let's jump on over because I got one story that it's so fucking weird. It's not weird as you think. It's not a paranormal story. It's not a Bigfoot story. It's not a UFO story. It's just one of those things like, are you serious?
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty will know. Scotty has to know. Scotty's gonna know. I'm gonna tell Scotty. Gonna tell myself. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to. Scotty has to. Scotty has to go. Scotty doesn't.
All right. Now, anybody on TikTok, if you want to see the videos and articles, you're going to have to jump on over to the Paranormal Highway channel on YouTube to actually see it, if you wanted to see it. Now, this is actually a story. It's not what you think. The title of the story is Researchers Paid Fox Viewers to Watch CNN for 1 month. Here's what they found. First of all, how do these people are found? What do they do a survey to see? I watch Fox, curse, and what? And you pay viewers to switch channels to watch? I mean, let me see here. David Bachman and Joshua paid Fox viewers to watch CNN for 1 month and then asked them a series of questions about world news. Those answers were compiled in a newly released study. Brockman and Keller shared their findings with CNN. Okay, now unfortunately, I can't play the video because they copyright all their stuff. Okay, I can't play the video, but I watched the video, and let me tell you, it's the most crock of shit that I've ever learned or heard. Well, the Fox viewers, they were surprised that the CNN were playing more real news than they were, because Fox News, according to them, was always on the right side. And it's like, first of all, I want to see these fucking papers, these surveys that these people fell out, because whoever does these surveys, you can manipulate whatever you want it. I want to see this shit. Okay, now let's think about this in the real world. This is why I'm bringing it all up. Okay, sometimes in the morning, I'll watch the news to find out the traffic, because I drive my wife to Seattle, downtown. I want to know if there's car accidents on a traffic, and there's like 4 news channels to choose from. Okay, now there's one news channel that I watch over the other 3 because I got used to the people that are on it. The only reason. They all tell you the same shit. They all tell you the exact same news story. But I watch one versus the other because I'm used to the people that I see on TV. Plain and simple. What does that matter here? CNN and Fox News are full of shit. They're both full of shit. One's towards the right, one towards the left. The reason you watch one and the other, because you're used to the hosts that are on there. All the news is bullshit. And what? Listen, if I did a survey of everybody, I don't know, Connor. We did a survey to see, say you and I are 100% pure Bigfoot channel, nothing else. But we did a survey to see what other people like. Who says you and I don't take that data and move it more over to the Bigfoot and somehow say, look, more of these people like the Bigfoot versus the paranormal, just because of the way we're reading the words. You can manipulate whatever you want. And who are these people to get paid, right? Who do you choose from? It's just like it's like when a liberal does a survey for a liberal thing. You know what they do? They go to a liberal college to do their surveys to get the more closely to the one they want. Republicans, same thing. They go to the college that's more Republican to do the survey to get what they want. Surveys don't mean shit. It truly doesn't. But I'm saying to myself, Connor, why don't you and I get paid to watch some channels and give these opinions?
I would say we're the third head of the 3-headed monster. There's CNN, there's Fox News, and then there's Paranormal Highway News. So come here for the true stuff. But can you pull back that article, please? And on a little somber note, could you raise it up a bit? And then one down on Dwayne Haskins. But sadly, Dwayne Haskins, a young man, he was Ohio State quarterback. He had the best season ever of Ohio State. I still remember that magic and laughter and crying and times with my family. He got hit by a car down in South Florida under mysterious circumstances, and he was killed. He was 23 or 24 years old. There's video of him being in Columbus saying, I want to be Ohio State quarterback when he was 8 years old. And then he grew up, led us to a national championship. He was the greatest ever. Man, forever he'll live. Dwayne Haskins. I just want to say rest in peace to him, man.
You know what's sad is Rothenberger retired. So this is his year to give, to really have a fair chance, try to win a starting job. And you're never going to have that chance because he's never going to have that chance when Rothenberger was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's gone. And it's just wow. And guys, again, it tells you, man, you fucking never know. Tomorrow could be I don't want to say it. Tomorrow could be our last days. We don't know it.
For sure. There was videos of him a day before posted on Instagram and on his Snapchat of him dancing by the pool and joking around. It's very sad. Life is super precious. And one day you're here, the next day you're not. It's crazy. So let's cherish it.
Now I got to say this real quick. See, that's Cassie. Cassie's right there, right? See the shaving? I blame this on Cassie. I blame it on Cassie. Now you're all how do you blame it on Cassie? Well, she did. It was 11 o'clock midnight. She was doing a reading at night. I think it was Saturday night, and this is true. She pulled a card for me, and it's a romance card. Like, you're going to expect some romance. Like, oh, shit. So, I better not do the romance that night, because if I go in the bedroom, I'll probably get slapped by the wife. Middle of the night, say, hey, baby, I got a romance card, But so the next day, I say, hey, I got a romance card pulled last night. So I get extra romance. Well, you're not going to get no romance until you shave. So I had to shave because of Cassie's card. True story. Her card created this. And I'm like, I got to honor the gods. The gods told her to pull that card for romance. Right? Connor, you can't piss off the gods, right? I mean,
no, 100%. You, their wish is your command, and now you have a baby face. It looks like you're part of the Young Guns, man. So that's a wild thing, bro. And you got to keep us posted on this next week of the romance law.
Actually, Connor's been on the show in the beginning when I wasn't growing nothing, so they say nothing new to him. And then where is it? One last thing, and then we'll jump right into of the Bigfoot intro. Somebody asked me what was one of my favorite interviews, because Chad Smith's been knocking it out of the park with some of his guests, which Cassie has gotten their guests. That's fucking awesome, man. I wish I had that person on the side that could get me guests. Like, Eric, I got you this person, I got you that person. Man, I gotta do everything myself. So that's awesome. But one of my favorite guests that I had on the channel, Connor was actually on it during that time. And one of my favorite guests is actually, nobody of you have heard. It's called How to Make a Horror Movie with director Mark W. Corin. And if you guys ever want to see a fun-ass interview, that was a fun interview, because we actually talked to a guy making an independent horror movie and how he did it, what's involved. And it was a really fun interview. We talked about the movie, but it was a lot of talk about how do you get it done? Where do you get the finance? Because that's the shit I want to know. How do you do it? Because I know Connor wants to do documentaries and stuff. And it's fascinating to hear on how these projects even get developed, and, how the movie comes out on a low budget, can you make it good and stuff? So that's one of my favorite interviews. Connor was me, Connor, and Mark Corbin. So if you guys ever get a free chance, I put the link in the chat. You guys should go back and watch that interview. It was a fun interview. He was on there for about an hour. It was fun. It was cool. And I'd like to get him back on. I'd like to know what his future projects, because learning on how to get movies off the ground, that's pretty valuable.
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely one of my favorite interviews, and something just to be a part of, because he gave us early access to Hoodman and then the code to his first movie. So we got to actually do some research before the interview. And then, yeah, man, I'm a filmmaker, and to hear it from someone that was funded and put on Tubi, there's so many avenues of this. So it's so cool to see and to hear and just to watch unfold. And it was like right before his movie actually got released, so we were part of like that press tour, that all the big artists, they go to TRL and then Sway in the Morning and Big Boy 45 talk about their albums, so it was kind of cool. They came to the Gypsy Road at that time, and it was horror talk actually, but man, that was such a cool experience.
We actually live stream it to both channels. Yeah, because I want everybody to see them.
Eric, did you see my recent post on Instagram and on Facebook? What I was doing this weekend? How I was part of a Fallout movie?
Really? Did I miss that?
Yeah, you should pull up my Instagram profile if you could.
I actually got your Instagram right up here, right there, still on the screen.
My most recent post.
Let me see. Instagram.
It was really cool. I played a raider in a movie called Fistful of Caps. My most recent post on my profile.
Oh.
Everybody's trying to zoom in and see what me and Eric are DMing about. That one's a good one, but the most recent one is something really cool. Yeah, that's me dressed as a raider. I memorized all my lines for The Merchant. And then they told me last minute, they're like, dude, we're shooting the Raider scenes today. So I actually play 2 characters in this movie. So next time I'm the merchant, but this was a Raider. And they're like, yeah, we need someone to be shirtless. So I took off my shirt. They gave me this Predator fishnet that he used in like Alien vs. Predator cosplay. And then he gave me this burlap sack with tubes through my head so that I could breathe. And I had these knee pads, and I had that barbed wire baseball bat, and it was really cool. Jack McClellan, another guy named Malcolm from Tampa Bay. He came all the way out, drove 6 hours to film it. Tristan from Hidden Relief, he played the other Raider. Me and him were around a fire talking about this spiritual monster being called Ragman, and that's who the movie's about, is Ragman. And I'm like, oh, it's so funny because my character's skeptical, and he's like, I don't believe him, man. Do you hear about all the stories they tell him? It's really cool.
See the connection? Ragman, oh, upside down, Ragman. See the connection? Somebody asked in the chat, who was the dream girl? The dream girl that we had on, I love when people ask these kind of questions. Her name is Carolina Francisca Jamez. I'll put that link. This is our interview with the dreams, and she's awesome.
Her channel is Lupita Inspires.
Yeah.
So just search Lupita Inspires.
Yeah. Or go to my link, go to the description, because it's right there in the description, right there for you.
And yeah, that was a great time. I got to read some of my dream journal to her, and there was many vibes through that night. And wow, she's gorgeous and very patient to be with me, you, and Dr. Wu.
Yeah, I'm surprised somebody remembered. That's awesome. Like, wow.
She was laughing about like us making weed jokes and stuff too. So she's cool in my book.
No, she is really cool. So beyond that, guys, let's just jump on over. I got 3 videos today for the Bigfoot side. All right, now this first one, you're going to have to read it. It's music, and it's mostly words. I actually, when I put the original link in, the music is going to be different because the original music that's on there is copyrighted. So I had to just swap it out. So this is words that you're going to have to read.
I could reread it. It's spotted all across Arkansas. Something for an icon of the state. It serves as a team mascot for the Naturals. It's commemorated statue in Bentonville. And it greets tourists in Cane Hill. In the Dutch Mills near Cane Hill in 1977. A man said the creature broke into his milk house and left claw marks and tracks. The most famous Sasquatch sighting in Arkansas is the Fouke Monster, beast of Boggy Creek. In 1971, a family in Texarkana said they were attacked by a mysterious creature. There's Monster Mart. Make sure you hit that up. The incident inspired the Legend of Boggy Creek film trilogy. But that's far from the only Sasquatch-like creature in the state. Sightings of the Arkansas Wildman date back to at least 1834. Then people thought the creature might be a human who survived the New Madrid earthquake and turned wild. More recently, the Bigfoot organization held a meeting in Alma, 2016, after nearby sightings. A Bigfoot conference was held in Villola a few years ago. In 2017, actor Rob Lowe told a frightening encounter with the wood ape in the Ozarks. Definitely watch that, guys. He and his sons were camping out, investigating the creature for an A&E show. So is Sasquatch or Bigfoot lurking somewhere in Arkansas? Have you ever seen or heard something that made you think it was? Maybe the Arkansas News will hit me up and be like, "Hey, this guy is decent for a voiceover."
No, I like. There's a lot of clips in there. I like how their mascot, and it just just like Washington. When we have the Sonics, there's the mascot, the Sasquatch. So if you don't think these states believe in the Bigfoot, then why are there mascots and stuff like that? I mean, now there's cons everywhere. So there's beliefs out there, people. There's beliefs out there. Oh, Chad, you can't go tonight. Come on. Don't be a wimp. Come on. You got to stay up. You're a night shift. You're tough. Man. Well, we're too boring that you have to go to sleep. Man, I thought I had respect for him. I don't know about now. Well, this next one is WTAJ Originals local residents react to Pennsylvania Bigfoot sighting ranking. So basically, I guess these people are excited that Pennsylvania is ranked. Well, let's find out what these Pennsylvania people say.
With Pennsylvania ranking third in Bigfoot sightings, I took to the streets of downtown State College to see if people believe in Bigfoot.
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I do.
I think he could be out there.
So I asked them why or why not they believe in Bigfoot.
Well, I mean, there have been sightings, but there hasn't been like DNA samples where they've actually confirmed that this is a species that is not related to any other species and is in fact its own separate animal.
Even though we do have a small world, like there's so much of it we haven't seen that to not believe in like a creature similar to like a bear out in the woods somewhere, like would be small, closed-minded.
And most attribute possible sightings to PA's climate.
I definitely think it could be real. Like, Pennsylvania has a lot of woods.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, we have some, mountains and rolling hills that could, inhabit something like Bigfoot.
As you can see, there are some believers right here in Central PA. Reporting at State College, I'm Devin Jackson, WTAJ News.
All right, why did I play that? Because sometimes I like to hear what we are all regular people, but I'm talking about like college kids and stuff. What do they think? Now, you heard two of them believe it. One says, we got a lot of woods. There's a lot of places that we don't get to. Great point. Now, the first girl, they always say that, we don't have the DNA. Well, first of all, you don't know we don't have the DNA. It's not being allowed to be released like it is. And even if one group says this is proof DNA, who's going to believe it? So the proof, Connor said it before, the evidence is there. People still are going to choose not to believe it, even if it's in their face on paper. Oh, it's manipulated. Oh, well, that's not a clear enough picture. People, the evidence are there. It's just some people they're too blind to see it.
1,000,000%. But I thought it was really cool, and they were bold to go asking students, and most of them sounded pretty fair and at least fun. Yeah. So I think it's really cool. And the Washington Wild Things, that's one of my favorite minor league baseball teams, and that is in Pennsylvania, and it's named after a wild thing. So I'd say either a Sasquatch or a werewolf type creature. And even Penn State, where they was the Nittany Lions and the Pitt Panthers. There's a lot to it, They were definitely the Steelers and all the guys who were working down in the mines. They were encountering creatures over in Pennsylvania, and then that lurks into the Ohio Valley and then up into like the Susquehanna Valley up into New York. So that whole front is full of creatures and monsters. Really cool.
Yep. Now, this next video, I don't know how people feel about TV shows. It's up to them. There's a Bigfoot show that's on right now called Bigfoot Expedition. I like I said, I don't know how people feel, that they're real, they're not, they're stretching the truth. I don't know. But they help in so many different ways that that you might not believe. This title of this video is Bigfoot Expedition Inspires Ban On-State Funded Searches for Mystical Creatures. So there's a state that actually banned funds for mystical creatures, which I never knew there was funds in the first place for mystical creatures. But apparently the Bigfoot Expedition show inspired the funds to come back. Let's find out.
Larry Barker first exposed a UNM expedition to find Bigfoot back in October, a foray into the forest paid for by you. Now a lawmaker wants to make it illegal for New Mexico taxpayers to fund colleges to go hunting for mythical creatures. News 13's Madeline Schmidt is live at the Roundhouse in Santa Fe with that story. Madeline?
Yeah, Dean, the bill comes from a senator from Gallup who Larry Barker spoke with during his investigation. The bill would stop trips like the one Dr. Christopher Dyer of the UNM Gallup campus took last year.
There was a field trip and taxpayers paid for that. So you went to the Sandias to look for Bigfoot, right?
We took one day and we went up there, yeah, walked around.
Did you see Bigfoot?
No, but we looked at habitat. We didn't see it.
That trip for Dr. Dyer and his friends cost taxpayers more than $7,000 in hotel rooms, meals, and mileage costs. In response to what happened, Senator George Munoz is sponsoring a bill that would ban public funds from being spent on, quote, looking for or catching a fictitious creature.
It's sad that we have to do this, that they don't have the ethics. UNM doesn't have the ethics to stop this. So now we have to draft bills to stop something that we know is not morally right.
The senator had a little bit of fun drafting this bill. It also bans publicly funded searches for Pokemon, leprechauns, and even the boogeyman. Now, Senator Munoz says what Dr. Dyer did was unfair to students. They pay a lot of money to go to school, and it should not be spent on this. Back to you.
All right, Madeline, thank you. Outgoing UNM President Bob Frank previously told
but hey, we can take taxpayers' money and buy meals to corporations. We could pay money so we could fly in jets and have these private hotel parties with everybody and call it a business meeting. Oh, we can spend all these taxes on everything else to fund my campaign that I'm running for Congress or Senate or whatever. But forbid $7,000 for a bunch of kids to get out of a class and go in the mountains, get outdoors and experience the woods. Oh, that's not good. That's not good for kids, for people. But we can fund everything else that's fucking crap with the states. I mean, are these people for real? Boogeyman, Pokemon, like.
See, once they added that in, like at first I was like, hey, they somewhat have a point. There has to be regulations, but I compare looking for Bigfoot like looking for panthers or looking for rare flowers. Like it has its purpose, but then they made it silly. Pokemon, even though leprechauns are real, the boogeyman's real. They added those in there and they made a total mockery out of it. But on the other end, the one guy did say, a few dollars, and then it was $7,000, which I'm sure some of that was needed, but some of that probably was extra. So that's where the limitations got to exist. But man, I have spent way less than $7,000 and went on years of expeditions
for private security. They pay $300K. They get private security and everything. Listen, no, Bigfoot's part of folklore story. It's part of Native American history. It's part of it. I mean, it's stuff you have to learn. You should learn. And I'm sure they didn't go out there automatically, everything is just Bigfoot. You probably have to learn how to camp, how to live, how to do all this. I'm sure there's more to it than just, let's just go look for Bigfoot. I'm sure it's a school, it's a college. They have things they're going to be working on while they're camping. I'm sure it's just not, get your binoculars. It's all standing around looking for Bigfoot. I'm sure they had to get approved, on why they're going up there, the whole thing. So I think the guy was just picking and choosing on, but like you said, Pokemon, Boogeyman, now they made a joke out of it. Like
he had me for a second. It's like, okay, there's got to be something. But yeah, man, it is ridiculous. It's a mockery. But the Sasquatch exists, and that's just another way to cover it up. And, you know, from being in this community where it's mostly good vibes and you see people going out and like sharing stories and it being like a gathering experience, that video shows it's not all fun and games for everybody. There is still a lot of enemies to the Bigfoot community. They think we are demons. They think we're in the way. They think we're spending their money. So, yeah, that's why, you know, academia and running to universities, there's always going to be a lot of speed bumps in the way of that.
Yeah, yeah. And if I say they really want to get rid of something, then let the vote for the people. Let the people vote. Let us choose what money should be funded to. Why do they get to choose? Let us choose, bastards. But beyond that, guys, let's jump on over to the paranormal. All right, now, if you guys have not hit that thumbs up or subscribe to the channel, come on, people, show some fucking class. Come on, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, share the goddamn video, share it to everybody. Share Bigfoot Announce channel, share it. Not just thumbs up, put a comment and share it. Let's get people to the real channel that talks about all communities, not just one. I can't tell you guys how many bullshit channels I've been seeing lately that I feel like all they do is just get people on just to talk about nothing, and they claim they're in a community for something, and they're really not. This is a channel that we actually talk and show you videos of different paranormal groups around the United States, around the world. You know, I try to pick paranormal groups that are from different states for each show. You know, so you know that this stuff is real. There are groups out there. We just don't hear their names a lot. We don't see them a lot, but they do exist. So if some of you get kind of tired of why is Eric showing in a group or just not showing a little item move across, because I want you to know there's groups out there. And then why? If you see a group on my video that's in your area, hey, maybe you could send an email, say, hey, I'd like to go out on a research with you, or can I join the team? You never know. You know, hopefully this inspires you to be a part of a team. If it doesn't, then oh well, I tried. Exploring Riverside County Paranormal with the Ghost Rescue Crew. So this is actually in Riverside County. Let's see.
Given Riverside County's rich history of paranormal activity, it isn't surprising that ghost hunting crews have popped up in the area to counter the lost or frightening spirits whom they believe may be disturbing its residents.
We are here at Ghost Rescue Crew's headquarters in Lake Elsinore to learn more about how these Ghostbusters operate and what they found on their quest to clear unwanted spirits from local family homes and businesses.
I got into it because it sounded exciting, and then when I got into it, it was more than that. You know, it's helping families find peace.
The building that houses the Ghost Rescue Crew is open to the public and originally belonged to Lake Elsinore's first postmaster. And as you would expect, it's rumored to have its share of ghosts as well.
Can you tell me if Mr. Neblit's here, the postman? Is he here, yes or no? Yes. Yeah, when I got here right away, I was moving in and I heard, thank you, in my ear. I'm like, whoa, all right, it's already starting.
1 second, guys, this is in California. I know some of you are like, I don't know where all the counties are. My apologies. This is actually in California.
There's activity in the attic right now. My kids will hear footsteps constantly up there. You want us to leave now? You hear that?
The Ghost Rescue Crew has also explored paranormal activity at the Elsinore Naval and Military Academy. Originally built to be a country club, the academy opened its doors in 1933 to boys born of wealthy parents and foreign dictators.
We got lucky to get in there. Everybody wants to go in there. We didn't find it too dark. There's a lot of people that have been in there and squatted and did Ouija boards, and that opened doors to make it active. We caught some orbs, we caught some EVPs, but nothing dark at all. it just looks creepy.
The ghost rescue crew has investigated the Chimes, one of the oldest buildings in Lake Elsinore. Built in 1887 as a bathhouse, it is now a registered city landmark with a haunting reputation. Many visitors have reported seeing various apparitions throughout the years. Carrie recorded 2 ghostly electronic voice phenomena here. One said, "This Thursday." The other said, "Label electrical," which were words written on a nearby chalkboard. The Kia Grain Mill in Marietta has also earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the country. According to many accounts, the mill is home to a long-past little girl in a blue dress. Carrie investigated the building while recording live on Facebook.
I like to go live because it shows what's really happening at the moment. There are people on my page that'll say, wow, we're hearing a little girl, and that's what happened this day. I was going live. Someone says, is there a little kid with you? So I went back and listened to the live. There was a little girl that said, then after that we're talking, and I hope you fall, she says to me.
Pretty clear.
This year, Halloween will be accompanied by a rare blue full moon. There's no telling how this will affect any already restless souls in your community. Are they ghosts? That's for you to decide.
Those EVPs were pretty nice. They're pretty nice and clear. You can actually hear exactly what they're saying. Now, some people do say that these voice machines, you know, you're just selecting random words and all that, and I can see that somewhat, but you got to ask yourself, wow, but the random word it said this time was on the board, you know. Then you ask yourself, well, how do you explain that one? You know, then those are the ones you can say, okay, see, that's more paranormal. Now I get it when you hear sounds that you can make words to make it sound like the words you heard, but those are pretty good because they were nice and clear. If it's not been fucked with, you know, like I hope you fall. That was pretty clear. That wasn't like, I think they said you could fall. Wow, I heard that too. Actually said it pretty well.
Definitely. And I love that. All we could do again is just gather data and then analyze it later. And like she said, when you're going live, that just opens the investigation up to so many more people. So I like what they're doing with all that. And Lake Elsinore was always close to my heart growing up. That minor league baseball team with the 2 eyes, that always was that awesome logo. That's Lake Elsinore Storm. And my Halo team used that logo growing up. And they were the Padres farm team. But yeah, man, it's crazy how it all connects later in life.
Thank you, Dana P. That's very nice of you. We love you too.
Oh, yeah, she's awesome.
We love you too. This next one is Throwback Paranormal Team looks for ghosts at the old Masonic Lodge in Rock Island. Rock Island, this is in Illinois. And it was a previous paramason type of place. And apparently it's haunted. So if you live in Illinois, you might know this area. I know a lot of you guys in the Midwest are close to Illinois. So if you guys are close, you might want to check out this place.
This is an old Masonic temple built back in the early 1900s.
The 84-year-old Masonic temple in Rock Island is filled with history, and some say ghosts.
Are there ghosts in this place?
I believe there is.
You think this place is haunted?
I believe it is.
The building was bought this year by Penny and Mike Steen to double as a banquet hall and haunted house during Halloween. During renovations, though, contractors started seeing things.
Because it was right up in here where he saw the apparition. He swore he saw an apparition of a woman walking from an area that was called the Ionic Hall over to the ladies' parlor.
Enter the Mercer County Paranormal Investigator.
We're going to look for ghosts.
The volunteer ghost hunters took me along inside the Masonic temple, armed with video camera, voice recorders, meters that measure electromagnetic fields, and other standard ghost hunting equipment.
We use just a basic laser thermometer, and all it does, point and click, and wherever your little laser beam is at, that's telling you the temperature that's there. Hopefully we can catch a full apparition.
Is there anybody who'd like to communicate with us today? We have Chris Miner from Channel 8 News here. Now's the time to come out and show your presence.
Things were fairly quiet, almost too quiet.
I'm a little freaked out by this. I really
I've got a voice recorder going, so if you could tell us your name, if there's anybody present.
until we reached the basement.
Ready for the basement?
We'll turn the lights off.
Whoa,
That was me. Is there anybody down here who would like to speak with us? Could you make a sign that you're down here?
In the basement, meters suddenly came to life. We started asking questions. See for yourself.
Are you down here by yourself?
Were you a member of the Masons? Were you a Mason? The lights flashed for yes, no flash for no.
Are you at peace? Are you peaceful? Didn't answer you, did
No. Oh. Should that be happening right
it? Okay, he can calm down now.
I got mine.
Should that be happening?
We're not here to disrespect or harm anybody, guys.
I've never seen that. Look at that. I've never seen that before.
You're not saying it because we're here with our camera?
Ghosts will kind of stay dormant until they start renovating on a place. And then when they start renovating, it kind of brings them up and out.
The owners say they're not surprised.
I'm hearing it from other people, so there must be something to it because they're all different people telling me.
This is Brenda ending EVP session.
All in a night's work, the ghost hunters pack it up for the night, convinced there are spirits living here in the old lodge. They appear, though, to be friendly.
No violent feelings at all. You know, it just feels like you get in certain areas and it's like, you're not alone.
In Rock Island, Chris Miner, WQAD Quad Cities, News 8.
You know, guys, I'm sitting here. I was kind of having fun because when you go live on TikTok, you could do weird things. Oh, you get a green screen. You could do weird effects. It's kind of awesome. So if you guys are in Illinois, man, you guys got to check that out. You know, a Mason haunted place. That's kind of interesting. They're saying they're rebuilding, and now they're seeing stuff. You know, I've learned from a couple paranormals just recently, even on Chad Smith when they had Ross Allison talking about where, you know, if it's already haunted, you know, been haunted for a while, if you're going to investigate it, you want to see if you can keep those people there because there's a reason they're seeing the ghosts, and if you take them out, make it look different, they might not come out. But then there's the other side where everything is normal until you start breaking down walls, and then sometimes the ghosts come out because you're destroying their homes. So it's kind of interesting on both sides of that story. Now I hear that story all the time where people didn't even know their place is haunted until they take down a wall, start painting something, because who's ever living there from the other world doesn't like changes. It's almost like us. It's almost like humans. We don't like changes either. It's so weird. It
all shows that it's all the source energy. It all comes from somewhere collective, you know, and it's very special. And I think it was very interesting how they have all that different type of gear. I know when we were using EMF detectors to directly, you know, talk to the ghost, we didn't do, you know, not light up, no, and then light up, yes. We would do like light up to orange for yes, and then maybe one light for no. And then, you know, if there wasn't a response, it wasn't a response. We wouldn't just defer to no. But I'm just saying that's how we differed a little bit, but, you know, fair to do it how they did it as well. But I just thought it was really cool.
It is cool. Now, guys, I'm going to put in the link Bigfoot Anon's TikTok channel. That's his TikTok channel. And then I'm going to put my link in the channel because there's a reason. Tonight Pacific time, I don't know, maybe around 10 o'clock or so tonight, I'm gonna go live on TikTok, but I'm gonna take my EVP to my little pet cemetery that I have in my own backyard, and I'm gonna do EVP for my animals. I want to see if I hear something. So I'm gonna do that tonight live on TikTok. So if you guys are around tonight, I know it's late for the East Coast, Midwest, but tonight about 10 o'clock my time, I'm gonna do EVP. I'm gonna do live on this because, you know, TikTok I can reach. It'll reach. And if it's cool, if we hear something, then, you know, maybe on Thursday I'll show it on the Paranormal News channel. So I am going to do an EVP tonight. on the pet cemetery.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it is going to be a little experiment. We do it for houses all the time. Listen, animals could be spirits just as much as humans. Because what is there a law and rule of the unknown that ghosts could only be humans? Bullshit. Anything that's alive that has a soul, I believe, could be a spirit. So love Connor live on TikTok. Great stuff.
Appreciate that, Sean. Yeah, I go live fairly often. Yesterday, I uploaded a post of just a mountain footage that has been circulated online for years, and it got like 140,000 in the first 2 hours. That was pretty crazy, and it's only gotten like 2,000 since. So I'm like, how does that work, TikTok? But I'll take it. 140,000 views. That's amazing.
I'm sorry. I'm having fun with it. Yeah, actually, I put a video up yesterday, and I went to check it. Like, holy shit, 10.8 thousand. Wow.
Yeah, it's past 11,000 now. You have 3 videos past 10,000. It's really cool. That's the beautiful thing about once you start grinding on it, then it just starts expanding in all directions. But man, I had a busy day already this morning. I was exploring one of the most haunted places on the face of this planet. And while I'm describing it, Eric, if you could pull up my Instagram again and then refresh it, because I just uploaded 5 pictures from there. But I was at the Dozier School for Boys, guys. It's here in Marianna, Florida, and there have been more than 100 skeletons found of some of these kids and boys that were experimented on and tortured. And if they ever tried to escape from this like boys' prison, they were pretty much executed on my Instagram.
Shit. My bad.
But they are setting to demolish this place very soon. And I've done some videos on the outside of it, but I was like, all right, it's finally time. I got to go in. And the sheriff, they own it, actually. You got to refresh it. The sheriffs own it. So when I was on the grounds, I was kind of on high alert. I made sure not to have any drugs in the car or anything and try to be as sober as possible. But yeah, that is the White House right there. And that's the only one that says do not demolish because it's protected by the state. But there was the White House boys, and they were a group of like 300 people that were survivors of this place, and they actually bonded together and then fought back against the establishment. But man, there was a lot of atrocities and evil in this place, and there's a lot of paranormal investigations that have gotten really cool results of like apparitions in pictures and then weird sounds too. But definitely encourage everybody to research it. The Dozier School for Boys. There's like 3 or 4 documentaries on it. There's TV shows. They still are finding skeletons in boys' bodies. So I know that today I probably passed some stuff that was just crazy and mind-blowing. But they said, they like Mark Muncy from Erie, Florida. He was up here like 2 weeks ago, and they told him he can go on the road and the sidewalk, but you can't just go in the houses. Of course, you know me, I broke the rules a little bit. I went in a couple of the buildings for exclusive access just because they're going to be demolishing these places soon. And it's a special place to share, and I want to honor the people that passed away. So I'm going to edit the video once I'm done with this, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you guys because that was a big bucket list spot for me. And I hope I did it due diligence, but I definitely went to some places that people haven't went to in a really long time. And a cop actually, when I was getting in my car at one of the spots, he like pulled up fast and put his window down. He's like, "You need anything?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm good." And then just drove away, and it was all good. So I'm very thankful and really looking forward to what you guys think on the footage. And same thing, I'm filming and I'm like looking away and I'm trying to just be open to all spirits and voices. And my perceptors and receptors were picking up on things, but hopefully, the mediums and the sensitive people, when they watch back, they can pick up on it.
Well, right now, people, I got his link right now. So what I want is I want you guys right now to click on the Instagram link and put a heart on those pictures. I want to see you guys in action. I want to see how cool we all are. So right now, that's the link. I want you guys to go to it right now. Put a heart. I want to see it move from 6 to 7 to an 8 or whatever. Let's see if you guys will do it. Let me go back here. Let me hit refresh. Let's see.
Sadly, most of our clientele here on YouTube is 55 and up, and just for them to hear what Instagram is would be a nice thing. I'm not expecting anybody to follow up, but I know Dina will, and I know Sean G. A couple people in here are on Instagram, so they'll naturally come. But yeah, we can't expect any of our elderly people to get on, TikTok or Instagram. That's why I write books. That's why I do radio shows. That's why I make movies that are on Amazon Prime. I don't expect people to go very far. So I reach for y'all.
We got 2 more hearts. We went from 6 to 8. So there's a few of them. There's a few of them that got it.
Yep, Dina just commented, so it was followed up from her. There we go.
It's always fun. All right. Somebody left a comment too. Let's see. Oh, there's a comment. And put a heart right there. I'm gonna type in. This is live, guys. This is live. Why if I click on? Oh, here it is. Okay, you're the best. See, this is live on air. We actually did a live comment, live reply, and a heart. So you guys are awesome. Oh, let me add myself a heart. Why not?
Hey, no offense to the older people, but there have been studies. They are a lot less likely to follow up on clicking, subscribing, buying, donating. They're just a little slower. No offense to them. I love my grandparents, but
we got 10. We got 10.
The future is technology, and
you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. We got to 10. So we proved Connor wrong that you guys do get to Instagram. Actually, guys, when I first started doing YouTube way back in the day, it was actually Clowns. The guy named Clowns is one who told me, "Hey, Eric, you should start using Instagram and Twitter and stuff." Like, really? Actually got me onto it and actually opened up because somebody, I guess, on my channel saying I should. So you're never too old, guys. You're never too old to do anything in life. Don't ever put yourself down. You're never too old. You can all learn this.
For sure. All you old folk, get on TikTok. I don't want to hear it as an excuse anymore then, because it's like reverse racism, reverse ageism. You guys are always like, I'm too young to be on TikTok, so don't play the age card now. Get on TikTok. Get on Buy Me a Coffee. Get a PayPal, Vimeo, PayPal, Cash App. Come on, if y'all ain't too young, you ain't too young for that too. Then
Yeah, we're not too young or too old to look for UFOs. All right. Guys, I'm having too much fun with TikTok. Look at that. Oh, you can't see it. I got like 3 faces right now on TikTok.
Sean G just commented on Instagram too. So the old population is showing up on Instagram. I love to see it. I love to see it.
Hey guys, and you don't realize how important it is when people do leave hearts and stuff and all that, because it puts it in a rhythm saying, hey, people are watching this, and it helps to get the word out. So as it sounds like we're doing it as a joke, it's technically not a joke, because when you put hearts, leave comments, it tells the system that people are interested and it gets it out there. What happens when you get it out there? More people get involved. More people check things out. That's how you do it. You can't expect people to come here. You got to get out. And unfortunately, with those social media platforms, that's how you get it out, with an easy heart, with a click. So this first one in the UFO is sighting stops New Yorkers. Now, this is only a 40-second clip, but what I like about it is the amount of New Yorkers are seeing these things in the sky. That's what I like about it. Let's check it out.
In New York City, a sighting that had even jaded New Yorkers scratching their heads. A mysterious silver, shiny object, or objects, it seems, floating in the sky yesterday. You could see all the people stopped on the street there in their tracks looking at it. Some folks say they saw lights. Others were maybe waiting for little green men to arrive.
I don't know.
What, a UFO? You don't want to say
I'm looking for the mothership.
Law enforcement officials believe it was some kind of balloon. So far, though, no confirmation. And as they said on the X-Files, the truth is out there.
Now, guys,
officials believe it was some.
Okay, I'm putting this pause there. Now, what's great about this is the amount of people that's seen this. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Now, we're not going to talk about that day in September. Get that out of here. But in New York City, they like any other city, there's strict rules on what could be in the sky. Not just because of that one day in Sep, but they have strict rules because these are major cities. So, you know, are they balloons? It could be, but they're not airplanes. They're not helicopters because you can verify those. You can actually call and find out the logs of what planes and stuff up there because they have to be notated because you cannot have flying objects that are helicopters and planes over New York without it being on paper. It has to be. I mean, this is New York of all cities. This is New York City. Okay, so now, are they balloons or what? Or did they just get lucky and have 3 balloons that went up and actually are in the same area spot? That's pretty good. Now, if you guys go outside, do experiment with balloons with helium. When you let go, they go up and they go in different directions right away. But these 3 are close together, and there's a lot of people that have seen this. So, I don't know. Makes you think.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. They were very close and coordinated, it seemed, and balloons would be going in all directions by the time they're at that height. So right there, then balloons would not be able to stay that close and then remain that close. So I think it's very interesting. At first, I kind of laughed when they were showing the footage right there because they could have just easily cut in like that from some like Seinfeld sideshow. But then they started actually, interviewing people on the ground. So it was interesting. It was either all planned or great coincidence of time of all of it just happening at once. But very interesting, Why was the news on the ground right away while it's happening? Or was everybody just like dumbfounded after they saw it? They were just like in the streets for like 20 minutes, just like, oh my God, did you see it? I don't know. It's very interesting. So maybe there's more news articles we could find on this since there was so many people involved.
And live, why we do this, because Sean just sent us a Facebook link, and I got it up right here to take a look at it.
Heck yeah.
Palmer, Alaska Buzz. Wow, that's interesting. Look at that. What the hell is that? These photos were taken over a 45-second period. I know there's been speculation, but has anyone seen anything definitive? Let's see if I click on it and make it bigger.
That's some castles in the sky stuff, man. Jack and the Beanstalk. Something's up there.
That's interesting. That is neat because if that's drawn, if that's fake, who comes up with that? You know what I mean? I mean, who comes up with like looking like a worm, but then in the end it's like all 4. Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, 45 seconds apart too.
I like that. That's pretty good. That's why I love these live shows. I want to thank Sean for showing this. Let me see here. Wow, look at that one.
Yeah. Something rained down from Jack and the Beanstalk land.
It kind of reminds me of, if you guys watch that movie, War of the Worlds, the machines were in the ground, but the aliens came from space when they're ready, and they get lightning down to where the ships are. And that's, I'm not saying they're doing that there, but you never know. I like that. Thank you, Sean. That's awesome. That's awesome. So beyond that one, let's see here. Next one is researchers make Cincinnati home, saying unidentified sightings are up. So basically, I guess I'm learning that the main UFO research center is in Cincinnati. A lot of you might know this. I didn't know it. Let's hear what it says.
Look at this. It appears to show a UFO hovering above the water before splashing down there. This leaked video was taken aboard a U.S. Navy ship. Well, tonight, the Pentagon is confirming the images as well as some previously leaked videos from 2015. They're saying they are legit and part of an ongoing examination by a task force formed just last year. Now, that brings us back here to the tri-state and our role in understanding unexplained aerial phenomena.
Yeah, it turns out we play a big part in this. In fact, the world headquarters of an operation that's looked into hundreds of thousands of reported sightings all over the years, they've just moved here from California.
This is cool. This is cool.
This is so cool. Cassie Arsenal is on the Close Encounters of the First Kind beat tonight. Cassie.
Believe it or not, Ohio is an active state when it comes to UFO sightings. MUFON told me that they've had close to 200 reported sightings here in Ohio just this year alone. So it's a convenient advantage that their headquarters is coming back here to Cincinnati.
It's a bird, it's a plane. Elon Musk satellites?
It might be a balloon that broke loose from a kid's party. It could be a drone. It can be any number of things.
But once in a while, it just might be extraterrestrial.
We do 8,000, 10,000 cases a year. Well, we can explain about 93% of those. But boy, oh boy, that leaves that extra.
You guys hear what he said? We can explain 93% of them, but 7% you can't. I always told you guys this. You can have hundreds of pictures, but you only need one to have proof. Just one. That's all you need. This is 7% out of thousands. So it's out there. The evidence is there, people.
800 of unexplained that'll just make your eyes spin round and round.
UFO sightings are up this year, especially in Ohio. Currently, there are 39 open investigations and 165 reports just this year alone. And now, the Mutual UFO Network, the largest and oldest civilian UFO investigating agency in the world, with 600 investigators all over, is moving its headquarters back to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati is perfectly located. 80% of the population is within a 6-hour drive of Cincinnati. That's number one.
And with a government-sanctioned report on the horizon of an unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs are top of mind.
We need somebody on the outside because with the stories coming out about the naval sightings, it appears that they have maybe done their due diligence on investigating these things.
Of course, MUFON has its fair share of pushback.
We have our haters too.
Of course.
When you're the top gun, everybody wants a shot at you.
But the commitment to try to explain the unexplainable never wavers.
Now, you can be a part of MUFON too. They are always looking for investigators, but it's not for the faint of heart. You got to get study materials, pass a test, then you have to shadow one of their more seasoned investigators before they let you go out on your own. Reporting live, I'm Cassie.
Okay. I didn't know Cincinnati was the home base. Somebody else said in the chat that they knew that right here. Let me get this off. He says, Cincinnati is home of the North American Dogman Project. Didn't know we had any UFO researchers here in the city. Did you? You know Ohio very well. Did you know?
Yeah. I didn't know it was the headquarters like that, but I definitely knew that we were a mecca for UFO encounters just because Columbus and Cincinnati had their fair share, but Cleveland and Toledo and like Youngstown and Erie, Pennsylvania on Lake Erie, there was so many reports in the 90s, like my whole childhood, that there was a base that was said to be under Lake Erie. But yeah, man, the Cincinnati stuff is really cool because, yeah, I know they had a Dogman chapter, but to hear they actually have the headquarters there is really cool. But also check out the abandoned subway systems because that's secrets.
Well, let me ask you and everybody who's from this area, and I know this is all speculations, this is all theories. If a lot of sightings are there, the main question, why? What do you think is so attractive for, I don't know, extraterrestrial to research that spot? Is there something that you think that maybe attracts the UFOs to go in that area?
Yeah, I think it's like pressure points of Earth because there's more than 10,000 mounds in Ohio, and those mounds were there to honor the land before them. So there's some kind of electrical or magical frequency that's there that brings all of that. And then what it said, 80% of the people live within 8 hours of Cincinnati. I think that's in America. That statistic is pretty wild. Like, that's so far out. I see Mark is saying, and that's a lie. I could see that too. That was a crazy, far-fetched, fact if it was.
I mean, he's talking about 80% of people live 6 hours from Cincinnati, and that was a lie. What part's a lie?
It said in that little section that I'm pretty sure it said 8 hours from Cincinnati, but it said that 80% of the people live 8 hours from Cincinnati. So it was saying that so many people are near it, or it's a really cool central
okay. So basically
spot.
Spread out.
But Mark doesn't believe that, and honestly, I find it very hard for that to be accurate too. And so I'm very interested in that. I'm gonna research it a little bit. But man, yeah, Ohio is definitely magical, and the serpent mounds are there, and a lot of giants and mound builders live there and dwelled there. So I think there's something inside the land, inside the soil, inside the earth at that location.
Cool. All right, guys, it's time for the Mandela effect today. This is more of I guess you could say, private Mandela, because most people are not even going to know the band I'm even talking about. But we'll check it out anyway.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. Luke, I am your father.
Now, this will not be one for everybody. I guarantee you 100%. A lot of you might not even seen this movie. A lot of you might not even heard the band that's in this movie. And it's all right. And it's all right. And it's all right. Okay. Now, 1986, there was a movie called The Money Pit. Let me share the screen. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called The Money Pit. It's from the Steven Spielberg company. So we all know Tom Hanks has been related a lot to the Mandela effect and different things, Apollo 13, all that kind of stuff. So there is a relation to the Mandela effect with Tom Hanks through that stuff. Steven Spielberg, George Lucas. George Lucas, to me, is the king of the Mandela effect, Lucas King. So there's a lot of touches here. Now, what am I talking about in this movie? In this movie, Tom Hanks plays, he's like a manager in a way for a rock band. And in the movie, they just use a regular rock band. Here, I actually got a 10-second clip. I can't play it longer because there's a copyright on the scene. I got it down to 10 seconds where it's not copyrighted.
And I sold off the Tucson property. This is their share. And this is mine. Now I figure that cancels out half my father's debt.
Okay, so there's a band right there. In the movie, it was just a regular band. Now the reason I could talk about this is because I grew up on these movies. This is during my generation, so I see these movies a lot. And The Money Pit's about a movie where they bought this house, everything falls apart, and they got to rebuild it. They get scammed. Okay, and I watched this millions of times, and then just the other day, it's on one of the streaming services. I thought, hey, I'll just check it out, and I saw that band is who? Because at the end of the movie, it had the words of who's the band is. Now, I don't know if you guys heard of this band. I'm going to share the screen. And they were big in the 80s, but a lot of you might not have heard of the band. It's called the band called White Lion. Okay? In the 80s, they've sold 2 million copies of the album Pride. They sing a song called Wait. They have that famous song called When the Children Cry. There's the they're actually they're a good band. They get tied up in that stupid hair band name, which they don't get recognized for the talent that they are. White Lion was actually a real talented band. The singer themselves' first album called Fight to Survive, their songs were written about how Native Americans got their lands taken away. They got robbed. They got ripped. Most of their lyrics is about saving the planet Earth. Little Fighter is about Greenpeace. So this band is about fighting, and somehow now this band is in that movie, The Money Pit. I know you guys are like, what? Listen, if you're me, who saw this movie a lot of times,
and
that
this
was
is
not
mine.
White
Now I
Lion.
figure that cancels out.
And now that band in that movie is White Lion, the band that sold millions of copies. So, like I said, this is more of a private. Cause not everybody's seen The Money Pit, and not a lot of people have seen White Lion. And I went with Dr. Wu, checked it out. Go, you remember White Lion being in the movie The Money Pit? He goes, no, there's a band. I go, that's White Lion, and he was tripping out. So like I said, this might not be a Mandela effect for none of you guys, but let's see if anybody says anything about it. Tom Hanks was the head celebrity in charge of Android Chrome stuff. Let me see. Tom Hanks, CERN, fun fact. Money Pit, ha ha ha, that sounds like a Congress and taxes. Hank is a piece of a piece of doo-doo. I know the flat earth community hates Tom Hanks because of the movie Apollo 13. Love White Lion. People don't give White Lion credit that their music was actually written to help people. I mean, they really were. When the Children Cry is about wars, people killing each other, men killing each other. The song is about we're not going to be heard until the children cry. Basically means once your children gets hurt, that's when people get involved. It's unfortunately. And White Lion was one of the first bands that talked about how Indians, Native Americans were getting their lands taken away. So is this a message? Is the Money Pit basically saying that? Because I always try to make a connection. You know, if this is a Mandela effect for me, Connor, why? The only thing I can think of is White Lion has the singer is actually from Denmark. Now, myself, I don't consider Mexico or Canada another country. They're our brothers and sisters. I always feel they're part of our country. Now, the only country I ever been to is actually Denmark, which the lead singer's from. Is there a connection there? I don't know. You know, is a connection that they're fighting for Native Americans, Greenpeace, and they're in a movie called The Money Pit where about the man rips you off. They sell you dummies, and then you buy something, think you got goods, and you don't. You have garbage. Is that could be a connection?
Wayfair. Yeah.
Wayfair. So,
yeah, Protect the Children. Tom Hanks. Research Isaac Cappy. Yeah. I was really hurt when the Cleveland Indians, they had to get changed to the Cleveland Guardians, and then who do they pick to throw out the first pitch in franchise history? This freak. You know, I look for monsters, Mothman, vampires, werewolves right there on the screen. That's probably one of the most dangerous things I've researched.
Danny thought it was Motley Crue. You know, hey, I know, right? Right? I was watching and I'm like, wow, White Lion was in that. Because when I was watching the end, the words came up, right? And it says, band performing the movie White Lion. I was like, no fucking way. And it was. Like, wow. I go, when they were in a movie? I guess they were. Could I easily missed it? Of course. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you anything's at a guarantee, but dude, fucking, we live in a comic book world, people.
We do.
We do. And I say, if there's a private effect for you, research it, man. Find out what's the message for you. You know, like I said, a lot of people haven't watched this movie. I've watched it in over 20 years. I haven't watched it over 20 years. Yeah, it's on a streaming service. What the fuck? I'll watch it again. And it's actually a good movie. It's actually not a bad movie. You know, it's about them on their luck, have no money, and they bought a house that's too good to be true, which in real life, if it's too good to be true, it's kind of issue, right? How many emails now you get, Connor, because of your YouTube saying, hey, we want to sponsor your channel, and it's a fucking place out in Indonesia. If they're telling you they're going to give you all this, it's probably too good to be true.
Yeah, the spam email folder is through the roof, you know. But you just gotta find your tribe in all this. But yeah, man, it's a crazy comic book world.
Thank you. See, Shang-Chi is my age. I don't recall the band being White Lion. Thank you. It wasn't White Lion. It was. And I know most people are watching it. Who the fuck is White Lion? But I'm sure if they heard the song When the Children Cry, that's like their biggest one. Yeah, it is a ballad. But, you know, when people hear that song, you realize, oh, that's them. Yeah, they're a band that sold probably up to 10 million copies. That's not no little teeter tot sales. I mean, they weren't like headlining. They're probably more of the opening acts. But, you know, it is what it is, right?
Heck yeah.
New Mandela book. Actually, yeah, I'm going to watch that. He's got a video on a Mandela effect change in a comic book, and I'm gonna check that video out in comic book, and you know, it could be on the next. Give me the next one. Whatever. See anybody else saying anything else? Hell, I had White Line on my 100-watt sound system in my Ford Expect back in the day. Yeah, one-hit wonders. One-hit wonders. I don't know if you could call them a one-hit wonders, because Pride, you had Wait, you had When the Children Cry. The next album, they had A Little Fighter, which was a big hit. They had that huge remake song that was huge. Radio, I don't know. Fuck, I can't remember. I can't remember everything, but you know, so they were beyond a one-hit wonder band. They had 3 albums that sold well. I'm trying to think of where is it? Living on the Edge. Where is it? Man, I'm going. Cry for Freedom. Radar Love. They did a remake of that song Radar Love, and it was pretty big. I know, and I remember during that time, what's all these bands with the letter white in it, right? White Lion, White Snake, Great White. I was like
the White Stripes. I know they were a little
White
later.
Stripes. Yeah, right. It's like, man, what's with all these white stripes, White Line, white Snake, Great White? It was like,
follow the White Rabbit. You know, that's what I've done ever since I first saw you on a Matrix show. I've just followed the White Rabbit, and look where we are.
Golden Earring was the original band of Radar Love, and the White Lions version was really well done. It was, I mean, they kept the honor of that Golden Earring band. So, questions. Here we go. So we got a question. Eric, when Mandela Effect started, and by what caused?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the hardest question ever to answer, because the title name, the Mandela Effect name itself, started in 2009 for a woman named Broom, Gina or something Broom, where she the phenomenon has always been there. The phenomenon's been there for thousands of years. It's just in 2009 she titled it the Mandela Effect, because she based it on a story she heard that Nelson Mandela twice. Nelson Mandela never died twice on her. For some people, it has. Fiona Broom. Thank you, Fiona Broom. Now, that's the thing is, she used the name for selling books, because that was never a Mandela Effect for her. But she believed in the phenomenon. She was a paranormal researcher. She wasn't a Mandela Effect researcher. She was actually a paranormal researcher, and she made a book about this phenomenon. and she named it off somebody else telling her about Nelson Mandela. So, the question is, names a book sells. I mean, it does. It flat out does. I mean, but even though I think the name's a joke, it doesn't mean the phenomenon's not real, but the phenomenon's been there for thousands of years. Putting your keys down, it's missing, it's somewhere else. Things change. You read something, it's different now. But that's been happening through thousands of years. So try to pinpoint on exactly when that phenomenon started, it's almost impossible. I mean, it truly is, because the phenomenon could be a variety of little things into one big thing. I mean, it's, you know what I mean, Connor? I mean, is the phenomenon about something disappearing, or is it about a word change, a thing change? I mean, it's so wide.
Right. It's the beginning of time. And then there's been, is it time shifts, like the world changes and it's a whole new time frame, or maybe it's misremembering. Maybe it's CERN being opened up by Tom Hanks. Maybe the nuclear bomb happened. Maybe the Germans actually won the war and have us all over some kind of mind illusion. I just think it's really interesting. Yeah. And then hearing people's personal ones is very fascinating. But then there's Bible changes and land changes and the shape of Earth. So it goes back to the beginning of time.
And honestly, Damien K., nobody knows when it actually went. How can somebody actually, I mean, seriously, think about it. How can somebody actually come out and say they know exactly when it started? You got 2009 when the name started, but nobody can come out and say when it actually started. It's impossible. I mean, and then if somebody does come out and say, well, it actually started in 1963. Why 1963? How? You just can't, nobody can answer that question. If somebody has an answer to that question, they're lying.
December 21st, 2012. That's when the Mayans
it'll be like
had it all predicted.
Connor, be like saying that first major sighting of Bigfoot, the big famous story Bigfoot. That's the first time that Bigfoot was ever on this land. No, nobody really knows when Bigfoot walked this earth for the first time. Who does knows? Who knows when the first ghost appeared in front of somebody? Who knows? And if somebody knows, dude, you and I got to hang out with that guy.
Right.
Or maybe one guy.
Yes, Arden. I subscribe to Sean. I think he has awesome work too. I've definitely crossed angles of him, and if I could get in the woods with him, would be very, very cool.
I like this, Mark. Mandela has been happening from the beginning, is my assumption. Bingo! From the beginning of life. If you believe in a creator, which I know a lot of people do, I'm not saying you should or not. If you believe in the creator, you know that magic and powers is possible because miracles happen under the creator. So then you have to say when the creator created life, that's when it started happening. Because what do you think miracles are? Clues. You can say the miracle, when a miracle happens, you can say maybe that's a Mandela effect. Maybe the paranormal, maybe the power of the phenomenon make changes people understand, clues and stuff. You don't know. Moses woke up one day and said he had a vision, right? He had a vision to go up to the mountain to get the 10 Commandments. Some people will say, well, that's a Mandela effect. He actually had a memory change that for some reason with this memory change, he had to go somewhere. I mean, you know what I mean? You could go down the rabbit hole and try to nail it. If you believe in the Bible stories, you could say a lot of those Bible stories are the phenomena of a Mandela effect. People are seeing things. People are seeing things in the past saying, I just talked to God. Well, is that a phenomenon? Is that a thought that just came in your mind? It was never there before. That's what a Mandela effect is. I'm just saying, you go down a rabbit hole big time in all this stuff.
It will shoot you in every direction. But I still end up in my grandparents' bathroom, sitting there on the toilet, right next to the magazine basket right there, and there was Berenstein Bears, and there was a Princess Diana like Life magazine, and that always will tell me she was assassinated. And keep your eyes awake for the changes and the shifts. And yeah, CERN might have changed our whole reality, and I blame HARP for Hurricane Michael because that was crazy.
I have a question for Connor here. Are you working tomorrow?
No, I'm off till Friday.
Because of course tomorrow night I'm going to the movies to see that Nicolas Cage. Cage being Nicolas Cage, he's playing himself that night. So I want to do a show tomorrow, but not a paranormal news, the regular 2 hours. We have a topic and all that. So if you're open, then I'll put something up for, if you're not working tomorrow, we'll do right at 10 a.m. It'd be, and if somebody, I don't have a guest, but if somebody wants to be a guest on our channel, email me. Leave a comment, say, hey, I want to jump on your channel tomorrow because I don't have a guest sign for tomorrow, but I want to have a normal show. I'm not saying this is not normal. You know what I mean? Just on a topic. So if one of you wants to be on the show tomorrow, I'll put one together and it's going to be a normal show. No videos, just, I'll come up with some kind of a topic and then we'll go off on it.
I always love that. Wednesdays are my favorite day to be on the Paranormal Highway.
Yeah, I'll try to figure out a topic, and if somebody wants to be a guest, Sean G, I don't mind. If you want to be a guest tomorrow, Sean G, be a guest. We'll talk about the paranormal stories that happen on your show. So just let me know, and we'll going deeper in all these subjects. I don't care. So beyond that, guys, I got to get going. I know Connor's got to get going. He's probably got some.
Before we get going, guys, YetiBars.net. Use my code BA10 BA10. Get clean like a beast. We filmed a commercial the other day for that. It is hilarious. So I'm super excited to be able to plug that at the end of the shows. I'm going to give you a copy of that file too, so you can just play the commercial, just like Void Cat.
Hell yeah. I love shit like that. When you can play stuff and you're not going to get copyrighted, it's like, whoo. Whew. Beyond that, guys, we'll see you tomorrow on a normal show. I don't know what the title is going to be yet, but I'll make it a good one. I'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.